A 2006 census revealed that 90% of Argentinians have an allegiance to an Argentinian football club. For comparison, if you're sitting in a crowded sports bar in New York City and look to your left and then to your right, you've just seen two people who are also sitting in a bar with no New York soccer fans. But when you're passionate about something and that passion gets tangled in personal emotions, bad things can happen. And when that exact thing occurred during an Argentinian match in 2011, the ref made it rain red cards. A record 36 red cards to be exact. There are some records that you just don't want to be a part of, like the most naked riders on a theme park ride. It's 102, and I don't envy the guy in charge of checking their safety bars. But on February 26, 2011, Argentinian football referee Damian Rubino entered the record books on a day he'd like to pretend never happened. Rubino handed out 36 red cards in a 5th division match between Claypole and Victoriano Arenas. Years later, he's quoted saying, "I know it was the correct thing to do, but I don't think I would do it again," as this record has followed him throughout his career. But how did we get here? Well, Claypole and Victoriano Arenas play in the Primera de Metropolitana, which is one of two leagues that make up the 5th division of the Argentine Football League system, organized by the Argentine Football Association. It is also the only league in the Argentine system that's amateur, so all of the players have jobs and lives outside of the sport. And since most of these players live near each other, most know each other as well. And unbeknownst to referee Rubino, there had been an altercation between players before the match. But it started as business as usual. There was one red card during the first half, but it was due to a double yellow. The second red card was given during halftime, due to misconduct. So clearly the match was getting a little chippy, but Rubino had no cause for concern up to this point. Neither team was fighting for promotion or relegation at the time, so there was no reason to expect emotions to boil over. But something was brewing. Number 7 for Victoriano Arenas, who was sent off in the first half, changed into street clothes and watched the remainder of the match from behind a fence. The final whistle blew, Claypole wins 2-0, but the players weren't done. They exchanged words and then number 7 took advantage of a distracted guard and rushed onto the pitch and punched a Claypole player, someone that he had had an issue with prior to the match. Then all hell broke loose. The brawl was set to a soundtrack of screaming fans rattling the fence that surrounded the pitch. Rubino didn't show any red cards during the fight, but afterwards he decided to hand out a red card to every player and sub as well as a coach. A record 36 red cards. Compare that to the highest number of red cards in a FIFA tournament match, which is 4. It was during the 2006 World Cup match between Portugal and Netherlands, known as the Battle of Nuremberg. This contributed to the 2006 World Cup seeing the most red cards of any World Cup with 28, still 8 shy of the single match record. And when you look at all 380 matches of the 2017-2018 EPL season, a total of 39 red cards were shown, only 3 more than Claypole and Victoriano received in one afternoon. So we can expect to never see this one-time anomaly of a situation ever again. Except for 1 year later, in 2012, when a youth match in Paraguay ended in a massive brawl leading to 36 red cards. The refs didn't even try to stop the fight, they just dismissed everyone and ran for their lives, which is exactly what I would have done. As a youth ref, there's no way you're getting paid enough to get in the middle of a herd of 15-year-olds kicking each other with spiked shoes. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and for more great content, head over to our friends at Vox.com and specifically this video about why Americans suck at soccer, because, there's no other American soccer thing to do during the World Cup.